Welcome back to another episode of We Are One, You Are Two, a video game and PlayStation podcast. This is, I believe, episode 37. And this is a podcast where we talk about indie developers. We talk about PlayStation. We talk about everything related to video games. Sometimes we talk about hockey, too. I'm your host, as always, Robert Fanzo, joined once again by Matt Rhodes.
Hello.
Now, guys, I do want to remind you, if you like what you hear, remember, you can go rate us first and foremost on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Patreon, Podbean, YouTube. We try to do it every week by Sunday. But, Matt, we've been a little out of touch.
Oh,
and so, our audio engineer, I just want to say first, Dave, congratulations. He is now married.
Dun, 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 dun.
He's on his honeymoon. I was out in the woods. And you were, well, I guess you were still in Chicago, weren't you?
Yep, I was still doing my thing here. And my thing was Fortnite.
Yeah, so we ditched you, but I guess you survived.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, not that this is amazing by any means, but I've increased my wins to 22 on Fortnite.
Those are all solo wins?
Those are all solo wins, yeah. Those are all solo wins.
That's impressive.
Yeah, 22. But out of like 1,000 games, so my percentage is atrocious. So, but I'm my top 10. I'm pretty good at, actually. I've been getting really good about getting into the top 10 most of my matches. So I've been getting better with that kind of stuff. But and I did win a regular squads game just by myself, which was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Now, are you still playing Rocket League?
Oh yeah, of course. I bought the Rocket Pass. So so Matt, obviously everyone knows me as Matt Rhodes, but my nickname is Hoagie, right? So on the Rocket Pass, one of the banners is a Hoagie, and it's level 27 or whatever, tier 20 or tier 47 rather. So no matter what I do, I have to get at least a tier 47 so I can get that banner because
That's awesome.
I would do myself a disservice by not getting at least that. But I'm at like 35 already, I think. So I think they tweaked the progression a little bit. They tweaked the the XP stuff because you get so they have like daily bonuses like Fortnite does, where they where you get like a day a win bonus of like 25,000 XP, and you get 2 of that. So that's like a quarter of a level right there if you win 2 games, and that's before your percentage, because you get an extra I'm high enough now, I get an extra 65% tacked onto that. So those 2 wins are starting to equal around 6,000 XP, which is nice. It's a nice chunk of the level taken out. So that's been helping. It means you don't have to put as much time into it. Not that I don't enjoy Rocket League, but trying to put in 100 hours to Fortnite to get their stuff and 100 hours to get Rocket League stuff is very time-consuming, as you can imagine.
I can imagine. I'm sorry, I almost fell asleep with you talking about Fortnite and Rocket League for so long.
I know. Good Lord, I know. But while you're away, I did manage to finish Spider-Man. So there's that.
And I just finished Act 3 today. And so we can have to avoid spoilers, you and I will talk about that off air, but
correct.
I did.
Yeah, that's smart.
I'll say this much. I thought it was very action-packed. And it actually almost made me question what the first 2 acts were for.
Yeah, I agree. There was a little annoyances for me in the 3rd act, but we'll talk about that off air.
Yeah, I agree. There's 1 or 2 things I need to rant about. I just want to give a shout out to, and then we're going to get into the news, I guess, because this is kind of tying into what we've been playing. But I wanted to shout out to Indie Select and Indie Gamer Chick. They had a Vita Island Select giveaway this past weekend.
Nice.
I participated on Twitter, and so I got Reverie for free, and I got Sir Eats a Lot, and I am loving both.
Oh my gosh, I hate you because I really do want to play that Sir Eats a Lot. It looks so fun and / funny.
It is. It's hilarious, and it's a decent game. It's fun. I'm gonna have a full kind of commentary on it. I think on Thursday's podcast because I'm gonna finish it by then. Or I shouldn't say Thursdays for you guys. That'll be next week's podcast, but we're gonna record 2 this week.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. I think I'll talk about Reverie. Reverie is amazing too. It's like a kind of like an RPG dungeon crawler, but like you're not really crawling through dungeons. You go like through different buildings and stuff, and it's quirky and funny. And so both of them were really cool. I appreciate her joining up with those developers to get that stuff out to people.
Yeah,
I think she had something like 100 digital copies of Sir Eats a Lot that were donated, and so she was able to give away 100 of those.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like that's really smart. I mean, we've been talking to devs, here on the podcast, and it's been really fun to kind of do that. And they've been, generous enough to most of the time share something with us as far as like, even if it's like a preview of the game or whatever. And it's really nice to kind of like get a feel for that because I feel like then we can kind of spread the word a little bit and help each other out basically.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to send some devs her way. She said she'd rather send them our way to interview, and I said that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Send, if you are a dev listening to this, you got other dev friends that you'd like to be on this too, please feel free to join in. But I know like Cowcat Games, I've been interacting with him on Twitter as well, and he actually sent me a signed copy, signed to our podcast.
Oh, nice.
Of his Vita game of Xena Valkyrie Plus, and so
sweet.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So it's been a cool week. So let's go ahead and get into the news.
Okay. News.
I know, Dave, you want your own music, but I wanted to do that. So this is the PlayStation-news. I'm going to start with my own piece of news, Matt, that I haven't seen on any news website. This is a exclusive, as I'd like to think. And if you've done this or heard about this or experienced this, please tweet at me or find me on Instagram or email me at weare1ur2@gmail.com or go to our website, weare1ur2games.com. Matt, my piece of news is that I got DM'd this week by GameStop's official Twitter account, and I don't even follow them. That's the real funny part. I don't even follow them. They said, "Oh, we saw you had tweeted about Valkyrie Chronicles 4, which I think I had sent out like one tweet or so. And they said, "How would you like a free copy? Just give us your mailing address, your name, and your mailing address and your name and what platform, what console you want it on." So I actually kind of thought, well, maybe GameStop's Twitter got hacked because this doesn't seem real. Why would GameStop, of anybody, give away free copies, let alone DM somebody that's not even following them? But shout out to them. They've replied back and said, "No, this is legit. We don't need your phone number. We don't need your email address. We don't need any personal information from you other than just where to mail it." And so if Valkyrie Chronicles 4 shows up on my doorstep sometime this week, I'm going to be super pumped. I'm going to play the heck out of it because I've wanted to try it out anyway. And I'll post pictures all over Twitter and Instagram if that's legit. So if somehow my house gets stolen while I'm away one day, I'll know that somebody hacked my GameStop account or hacked GameStop's Twitter.
Not to play devil's advocate a little bit, if their Twitter or if their stuff was hacked, wouldn't the hacker be smart enough to be like, "Oh, yeah, this is legit"?
Well, the other thing too is I would think that he would start sending out like detrimental tweets on GameStop's behalf, But when you look at their feed, it's all like, "Here's this promo coming up. Here's this. Here's that." And so, I thought that was cool. And they said it was just a social media giveaway that they were doing to show social media fans that they appreciate them following or checking out their thing, which is funny because I've never done either.
Yeah.
But I did decide I'd follow them just to, kind of.
There you go, Rob.
Thank them for a free game.
That's so nice of you.
I know. So I collected basically 3 or 4 free games this week. I mean, it was a good week.
Well, Robert, I spent a bunch of money on games. I'm disappointed with myself. I've been pretty good about not spending money on Fortnite, and I did a bad thing yesterday, but that's okay. It's fine.
Do you need help?
No.
Do you need
help's coming?
Gamers Anonymous?
I got the note. I got the Note 9, right, and it finally came in the mail. So I just have to wait for a code from them, which will be I get 150 free V-Bucks, but there was a skin that I really wanted, so I couldn't wait, and I bought V-Bucks anyways, like an idiot. I know. Seriously. Good Lord. But that's okay. I mean, I feel like I've put in how much money into Rocket League that was also a free game just for the same kind of reasons, right? But I mean, it really is a good game. I really think that, and they are putting a lot into it. It's crazy, but then I bought Assassin's Creed, which I promptly fell asleep trying to play last night or 2 nights ago. And then because I got a $10 Amazon credit, I think Amazon's trying to like remember before, like, people, I guess developers were getting mad that they were like
Discounting the games.
Yeah, they were discounting the games 20% for Prime members. I think the way they're getting around that is they're giving people $10 credits now.
Okay. That makes sense.
Maybe
I can see that.
I could be wrong. Maybe this was just like a one-time thing with Assassin's Creed. But I got a $10 credit, and I put it towards Red Dead Redemption 2.
Nice.
I spent a bunch of money on video games in the past.
See, I'm torn. I kind of want to get the physical of both of those, but then Sony has that thing where you purchase 2 games between now and like November 5th.
Right, yeah.
And you get $15 back.
Right.
And so since I already missed that Assassin's Creed deal on Amazon, I'm kind of tempted to just do both of those. But then at the same time, too, I haven't even played Origins yet.
Yeah.
And so do I want to skip that and play Odyssey? Because last time I skipped a game of Assassin's Creed, which was, what was the 19th century one?
The Syndicate.
I never went back to it. Like, yeah. I literally powered it up. I saw the title screen, and then I closed it.
Yeah.
And I never got back to it.
Yeah, I played like maybe the first mission, and that was it. And I was like, I just don't have time for this.
Yep.
And I have a funny feeling that's kind of how it's going to be with Odyssey. Yeah.
Yeah, because Red Dead. And so I think I'm going to skip it.
I didn't look at the news, but you didn't happen to put in that, you didn't have to put in that article that I sent you, did you?
No, I didn't, but we can talk about that if you want to talk about that first.
Yeah, for sure.
Since this is the news segment and we're sorely off track.
Yeah,
get us back.
Yeah, right. The one thing with the news with Odyssey was there is, as you know, games become more and more pay-to-play kind of a thing, or, you know, long-term, you know, money makers. They do have like a permanent XP boost that you can buy, and there was a review that I was reading that said that this is kind of how the game should be played, or this is how the game felt best. Because as a reviewer, he doesn't have, you know, 80, 100 hours to actually grind these levels out and play them. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to be able to have like these moves early on, or you know, as he progresses, so he can feel like, you know, he's making progress, and he doesn't have to worry about like fighting like a bunch of enemies just to gain XP, just so he can he can, you know, slowly chip away at stuff. So that's one thing that's concerning about Assassin's Creed. And, you know, if it's gonna be like this kind of thing, I mean, I've obviously already bought it, but if they're gonna pump another one out next year and it's gonna be the same kind of thing, then I don't know if I'll buy it, because they've revamped the series. They've done well with it. However, if they keep putting them out, I think like it's just gonna be the same thing. Well,
remember, they did say, and I don't know if you saw this or not, but they did say that 2019 there will not be an Assassin's Creed.
Oh, they did announce that already?
Yeah, they did announce that about a month ago.
That's good. I feel like that's smart for them to like pump out a couple, and I'm sure that's probably why they added things like that, where you can buy permanent XP boosts or permanent, you know, money boosts. And, you know, I feel like the money boosts are wastes of money, because I have never in an Assassin's Creed game had problems with being able to buy things.
Agreed.
I feel like there's whatever system they set up, whether it's like thieving or, you know, building up your own kind of community so you make money off that community, it's always been enough to actually purchase things if I wanted to.
Yes. That's the other thing about that, is that, you know, they've made it like a Witcher RPG from what I understand. And so, you know, it's a Witcher-like RPG, you know, it's going to take you, I mean, Witcher took me like over a year to finish when I had more time. And so if it's like that, if Odyssey, which I hear is like that, I'm never going to finish with, Odyssey, then it's really going to eat up my time. But
oh yeah. I mean, and the thing is, there's how many games like that coming out, right? There's Red Dead Redemption and coming in how many weeks? And then there's Fallout 76, not far beyond that. Now that's like an online multiplayer, but that's still the same kind of a thing. It's an open world grinder kind of a game.
Well, and think about the online persistent multiplayer that's going to exist in Red Dead.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with these games, but I mean, you know, all in all, it's kind of crazy that how long games are getting.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about the next news item here. Sure. Moving on a little bit. Push Square, this is courtesy of Push Square, that Guerrilla, which you may know them of, not just Killzone, but certainly the wonderful Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
They've been quietly hiring some of the top talent from Rainbow Six Siege, which is considered one of the top online multiplayer shooters, right? After it kind of got off to a rocky start, people love it.
Yeah.
And so they've been hiring people from there and quietly working on another game since last year. And so I do wonder if perhaps Guerrilla Games, they were like, okay, look, you made an incredible game in Horizon Zero Dawn. Yes, we want a sequel, but for now, why don't we take something like Killzone and turn that into an online experience, right? Because the article states that Worldwide Studios president Shuhei Yoshida said he did recently want Sony to do a better job with multiplayer titles because they have a vast, I mean, if you think about all of the games that come out of PlayStation are single player experiences, right? They're exclusives.
Yeah.
And so I have a funny feeling we're going to get some sort of persistent online Destiny-like Killzone blended multiplayer game from Sony.
Do you think it's Killzone, or do you think they'll just make it Horizon Zero Dawn?
I can't see, that would be weird, Horizon Zero Dawn, and I think you would have such outcry. I think Sony likes to keep that stuff separate.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, I think it would be a weird kind of transport.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's built on the fact that it's like the prequel kind of a thing, where like it is like the war. You know what I mean? The war that ended everything with the machines.
That might be cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, it should be interesting either way.
Yeah. Now the next one makes me laugh super hard, just because you know me, I love trophies, and so Marvel's Spider-Man. Apparently, the platinum completion rate is "quote unquote" insane, according to Push Square. This is also from Push Square, but I've also seen this on other sites too about how amazing the platinum. Now, here's the real kicker: a whopping 10% of people who have purchased the game have unlocked the plat trophy.
Wow.
Now, that sounds kind of silly. Like 10% is ridiculous, right? But when you think about, so to do a little math, I know it's sold over 3.3 million copies. So that means over 330,000 people have the platinum trophy, which is cool. But I think Push Square does a good job of comparing this, and this is kind of a point, highlights, I guess, really why it's quote unquote insane. Horizon Zero Dawn only had 6.9. Infamous Second Son only had 5.5% of people getting that platinum, and only 0.8% of people in Uncharted 4 Thief's End. And so I actually have the platinum in Horizon and Infamous Second Son. I think you do too, do you not?
Oh gosh. Definitely Horizon. Not sure about Second Son. I would imagine I would have Second Son.
I think you and I both did. And so
yeah,
that's interesting. And I guess I laugh at the amazing part of that, because when I go to PSN profiles and I look at the platinum, 46% of the people on PSN profiles have that platinum trophy. And so if you think about that, I guess the amount of people on PSN profiles take their trophy hunting seriously, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because I tend to forget that, like, I look at games success rates on there and it's very different. Whereas I guess when I look at The Witcher, for example, platinum trophy for just the base game, 1.1% of people have that platinum trophy.
That's nuts. And
that includes me. I'm in that 1.1%. And so, but on PSN profiles, it's 7.84. And so it's still, 6% higher, which is sizable, I think. But anyway, so I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was kind of interesting.
The one thing I will say, though, I mean, yes, it's 10%, but how much will that go down once they stop, selling, right? Like, Horizon Zero Dawn is at 6.9%, but they've also sold, almost 8 million copies.
Right.
I'm sorry, 7.5, rather. 7.6. So they still have almost double the platinum trophies. People who own the, you know what I mean? So...
yeah, I understand what you're saying. I don't know.
I mean, I get it, especially having only been out, a month now?
Yes.
That is pretty insane.
Yeah.
But that just, I feel like that's more just a kind of signal as to how good the game is and how much people just really want to keep playing it. I mean, right. even with Fortnite and Rocket League, it really was hard to put down.
Right.
I mean, they just did such an amazing job with it.
Yeah, they really did. And I finished the story, like I said today. I still have some outposts to clean up I still have some side missions to do, which I'm kind of glad because some of the suits that you unlock in the latter part of the game, I'm so glad I have an excuse to wear them and play with them. So, next news story, and then we're almost done here. The Walking Dead, I'm sure you've heard about Telltale. It's been a hot mess over there. They shut down. They let go of all but 25 employees. They were supposed to continue working on something. And then they let go of the rest of them, all those 25 as well, to completely shut down the studio, all without severance or any kind of severance pay or package or warning. And so they're just completely gone. And so all those people are jobless right now. And so, if you can certainly find room for them, if you're a dev listening to this, I'm sure you'll have some top quality talent there. But the latest news that I saw that popped up this morning is that The Walking Dead's final seasons of episode 3 and 4 will release and be completed by Skybound Games. And so what that means is that the developer has stated that it's going to hire as many of the original Telltale employees who were laid off as possible, and that, they're going to try and I guess pay them to do that, or however that works. I have no idea. I will say that about this whole situation is it's just kind of a crummy experience for those involved.
Yeah.
To get dropped like that out of nowhere. And from my understanding, episode 3 was done. They just had to put on some finishing touches. And so we'll see what happens with that. But that is kind of crummy to fire all those people, get rid of them, not even let them finish out the season. And it's clearly because somebody did not manage the money over there correctly.
Yeah.
Somebody definitely did not allocate the funds correctly, because if they had, you think about how much they were churning out stuff. I mean, I know they weren't your thing. I played as many as possible.
Yeah, well, just because they weren't my thing doesn't mean I didn't realize how good, good of a studio they were. Like, I mean, it seems weird and super sudden that they would just close.
Yeah, and the only thing I can think of is they made a lot of licensed stuff, and licensed stuff, a lot of that money has to go towards the license, paying for the license.
Sure, yeah.
And so somebody mismanaged the rest of the money, whatever they did gain. And I also wonder if, and you just talked about this with Assassin's Creed, how you were going to skip the next one because you just didn't know if you could keep playing that big of a game.
Yeah.
I honestly had to skip some of the Telltale stuff because I was like, look, I just can't keep playing the same thing over and over again as much as I love it. If a new shooter came out every week, I just couldn't do it.
Right.
And it felt like Telltale sometimes had 2 episodes of 2 different things going on coming out at once, or when they would finish up one, 2 months later, another one would come out. And they never took a break. They never stepped back. Anyway, it's just a sad situation. So I'm sure next time we do a podcast, we'll hear even more by then.
Oh, I'm sure.
Next story. Apparently, the PS5 rumors have started up again.
Ooh, PS5 rumor mill.
I know, rumor mill. And apparently, there's the idea that it's going to continue to be backwards compatible. I doubt that.
You think?
Well, here's why. PlayStation Now, they invested all that money in the Gaiku cloud server. They have PlayStation Now. They just announced that it's been a few weeks since we talked on the podcast, but they announced a few weeks ago, right after we did our last podcast, that you could download to your hard drive games off of PS Now, as long as you had a subscription and an online internet connection, which in essence makes it identical to Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
And so why would you need backwards compatibility if you're trying to invest in this streaming service?
That's true. Yeah.
And so I don't know that that's going to happen. It would be nice, but we'll see. Though, again, Xbox One is backwards compatible, is it not? The One S?
I honestly don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is. And so maybe this is more of a response to, look, we know that we have this Game Pass service similar to that. Yes, okay, backwards one compatible games for Xbox One. So it is.
Yeah.
And so maybe this is just a rival, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe this is more so not that Sony wants to do it, Sony cares, but Sony knows that people still whine about it. And so, you know what my solution to that is?
What?
Keep your old console.
Yeah.
I still have my PS3. I mean, I'd love to fire it up someday if it wasn't collecting so much dust. Just keep and we've talked about that before. I think we had a whole episode where we talked about backwards compatibility, so I'm not going to say anymore. You can listen to that if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Red Dead Redemption 2. Finally, we know what the timed exclusive content for the PS4 is, and just like I suspected weeks ago, and I don't think I've said this to you, it's nothing we should care about at all. It's a freaking horse with a saddle.
Ooh.
It's a outlaw outfit, and it's a double action revolver, which probably won't be worth crap because you know there's always a weapon that's better in game than the garbage you're given for an exclusive hat.
Yeah.
So, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
In other words. And so I'm not even going to waste my time on that. I'm excited about Red Dead Redemption 2, but I do think that exclusive content should be more exciting. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Anyway, moving on to other games coming out this fall that I'll never have time for. Lots of Fallout 76 gameplay footage. This is also courtesy of Push Square. I've been using them for my news lately. Pete Hines told everybody that more gameplay footage was to debut very soon on Twitter. Of course, the beta dates are for Xbox is October 23rd and for the PS4 is October 30th. And so I'd like to try that out.
Yeah.
I will try that out. I take that back. However, I don't think that this is a game I necessarily care to purchase. But that's another story in another time. But
Well, how are you going to do the beta without purchasing it?
is it a purchased only beta?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
I'll be doing the beta because I purchased it.
Okay. I was not aware of that.
Yeah. It's a purchase thing. Just saying.
Maybe I'll see how you feel about it.
You're a Fallout guy. I feel like this is right up your alley.
I know I've Platinum 3 and 4, and I Platinumed New Vegas, and so I guess it's just
You're
not
even
like...
more of a Fallout guy than I am.
I know. I didn't
even finish 4.
That's right, you didn't. You didn't finish God of War. Yeah.
I know. Good Lord.
You never even touched Doom, I think.
We played it once.
You're missing out there. That was such a good game, but that's another story. Maybe if I can get you off that Fortnite train.
Right.
Have an intervention.
You started it. You bought me the ticket.
I know, which is so funny. Like, I was so into it, and I was playing it, and I was like, yes, I gotta get him into this. And then as soon as you got into it, I was like, I don't have time for this now. I'm gonna play other stuff.
Here, let me pass my addiction on to you.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
All right. The last piece of news that I thought I'd wrap up with, and I thought we could even talk about if we wanted to a little bit for like a topic, is that PSN name changes are supposedly coming soon to PS4. Now, just to be clear, this has been something that's been going on for years, right? This rumor, people complaining about it, people wanting it. Supposedly, one source provided Kotaku with an image of internal documentation that showed a screenshot with an edit username option on a PSN profile page. Other sources explained they were tweaking their games in order to accommodate for players to change their PSN ID. And so I don't know how that's going to work. I also read somewhere that you may have to give up all of your PS3 trophies in order to get your name changed. Like if you're on PS4, you'll have no problem keeping your PS4 trophies, but you'll lose all your PS3 trophies.
And Lord knows you will not do that. Right?
Okay, and so so I guess maybe this could lead into our topic a little bit here, a short topic of conversation.
Sure.
My question is would you change your PSN name if it comes to fruition?
I don't know. I've been for so long.
Yeah.
Almost 12 years now. No. I can't count. 11 years.
Yeah.
Whatever. What's the difference? I feel like. For those people that made some kind of stupid thing that was very much about the joke at the time, that's on them.
Yeah, or if you have something, completely vulgar or goofy,
right, and you're an adult now. You're like, oh, this is dumb.
Yeah, I love anime boobs or something,
Yeah, people think I'm 12 years old now. I'm like, well, you were 12 years old when you got it, so that's on you. Yeah,
and I thought about it. If it doesn't mean sacrificing any trophies, I probably would just change it because I'm totally, I don't care about mine. It doesn't bother me at all. I just feel like I would want something a little simpler maybe, or even just something to update the fact that I'm in my 30s now, and I'd rather just have something like that, right?
Yeah, something more adult, I guess.
Yeah, because I don't really, honestly, it doesn't bother me what my PSN name is, because other than the people who see me online, who cares, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And Sony's not going to ban me or ban, and most time people don't get banned for their stupid names, but then some of them do. I was just curious because you and I don't think have the type of names where it matters.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think we do either. It's just one of those things where.
But I do want to see it come to the service. I think it's something that's sorely lacking because people on Xbox have had it for so long.
Yeah.
And I do think it would be a nice opportunity. And you know what? If it's something that you can change kind of every once in a while, I wouldn't mind doing that just for the variety.
That's true.
Honestly, the only thing I would probably change mine to is something to promote the podcast. Right? I mean, that's selfish, but I would do that, right? I would
just change it every week.
I would change it to, the We Are One, You Are Two name. And that would be that. Or We Are One, You Are Two podcast, something like that. And so.
How dare you get involved in self-promotion?
I know. It would be more for my purposes of doing something like that than that I'm embarrassed about my name or anything like that as well. I also, again, if you could just change it frequently, it might, and it's like $1 or $2 every time. It might just be fun to name it after something after the current game you're playing or something like that. Just something goofy.
Right.
I would love to play Rocket League and change it to Demolition Man or something like that, right?
Yeah,
and then just blow people up and just, something just to troll a little bit.
Well, he's living up to his name.
Yeah, something so that they could report me. Demolition Man keeps blowing me up. I'd like to see it, I guess, is my point. And so we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that... Actually, I saw a really great meme and I sent it to you the other week, where somebody said that when, at PSX last year, Sean Layden was asked by Greg Miller, are we going to see PSN name changes in 2018? And he said, well, I hope you won't have to ask me that question again in 2018 at PSX.
Yeah.
And then the meme smartly said something like, when you aren't going to have PSX in 2018. And then they had like a headline that says, no PSX this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So they don't have to answer that question. He was right. We won't get to ask him. And so, I mean, I guess that wasn't really worth a talk, but I just was kind of curious if you would change your name. like I said, I would do mine, but it would be more for fun.
Yeah, of course.
Something like Spider Rob or something stupid, right? Something just that, because I'm playing. And then when Red Dead comes out, I could be like, I have no idea, right?
You could be Rodent Weber.
Rodent Weber, yeah.
Did you see that? I saw an article about how you can even web shoot the rats in Spider-Man.
I didn't see that. Where are their rats?
You haven't seen the rats in Spider-Man?
I don't remember if I have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's
I don't
rats.
Walk around. I swing. That's what Spider-Man does.
There's rats in the game, and then if you... Apparently, I didn't know this, but I guess there's a whole article about it. Like, the game is so, involved, and they thought of everything, and you can also, web swing the rat. You can, shoot the rats.
They thought of everything except the boat people.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Wait, what? The boat people?
The boat people. The people out on the boat?
No.
Oh, I'll show you that after we're done here. It's good.
Okay.
So let's just, I guess we'll continue on here. I just wanted to point out for this day in gaming history, so we'll move on to that. Hey-o. So this is this day in gaming history. I just highlighted 3 games I thought that came out this year that I thought were pretty cool. I typed them into our document there. WCW versus the World, which I played a ton of on PlayStation in 1997. Came out today. I played a ton of that game. I played a ton of all the wrestling games.
Oh, yeah.
And when we get to the drop, you'll see that 2K19's out this week, too.
Oh.
Speaking of 2Ks, though, NBA 2K15 came out on PS4 and other consoles in 2014. And then last but not least, this day in gaming history, release-wise, Mafia 3 came out, which was a free game, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
And so I haven't played that. I probably never will, but I have it downloaded.
Yeah. I mean, I got it for free.
Yeah, 2016.
Dude, I gotta say, there's one that you missed, and it's 2001. It's Ski Resort Tycoon 2, Windows version.
I knew when I looked at that list, I was like, you ever have that feeling in your gut that you're missing something?
Oh, 100%.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, I knew it. As soon as I read it, I was like, oh, he's gonna be kicking himself. He's gonna be so mad at himself for forgetting. So you're welcome.
Thanks, I appreciate it. That's why there's 2 of us doing this podcast, and not just me.
Right, exactly. Also, 2003 Backyard Wrestling. Don't try this at home.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I played that.
Did you really?
I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah.
Oh my! Speaking of wrestling, I need to download that new one. What the hell was it called?
Oh, the one we talked about last week or last podcast.
Yeah, the one. Yeah.
Where it's a ridiculous amount of customizations, and it's like.
Yes, and it's like the really old school looking.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, I'm so ashamed that I can't remember the name of it right now. Fire Pro Wrestling World. That's what it is. I need to download that one.
Found it.
I'll probably do that tonight. I'm probably going to spend a bunch of money this weekend on games. Who am I going to lie? Red Dead, Assassin's Creed. I'll only play one at a time, but you know what? Why not? All right. So that was I almost said see you soon, but that's what we're going to talk about now. See you soon.
See you soon.
See you soon. All right. So these are games that are coming out this week. And Matt, I just want to say, I thought you and I do a pretty good job with our formula of taking turns reading them. And a certain other podcaster who has his own video game podcast again, who got a new co-host, they started doing that as well the past couple of weeks. And I know he didn't get it from us, but I'm sad that we're now not the only ones that do. Are
you sure that he didn't get it from us, Robert?
I wish. I would be honored, actually, if I knew that.
Who was it?
Colin Moriarty.
Oh, Colin, man. Always taken from the little guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, right. He actually admitted one time he doesn't listen to other podcasts, so.
Yeah. Great cover. You know what I mean? Great alibi.
That's true, right?
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I said that I don't listen to other podcasts, Your Honor, so how could I plagiarize another one?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. We're on to you, Colin.
That's right.
We are on to you, sir.
That's right. And if you ever come on this podcast, we'll let you read the whole drop by yourself.
That's right. We will not alternate.
We will not alternate with you.
Because that's your thing.
That's right. So this is the drop, and there's actually not a lot of games coming out this week, and I can probably understand why when you read some of them off. And so we'll get started here. Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Blops 4 is out PS4 digital retail, out 10/12. So that's a Friday release.
Ooh.
Blops is back, featuring gritty, grounded, fluid multiplayer combat, the biggest zombie offering ever with 3 full undead adventures at launch, and Blackout, where Black Ops comes to life in one massive battle royale experience. Single player not included.
Gross.
Battle
Royale. Here we go.
Yep. I'll let you take this next one.
Ooh.
Disgaea, I think it is.
Disgaea? D-I-S-G-A-E-A.
I see it all the time and I never know how to say it.
Disgaea 1. Complete. PS4 digital retail. To celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Disgaea series, the groundbreaking game that started it all returns for modern consoles in beautiful HD. Relive the expanded adventures of Laharl, Etna, and Flown in Disgaea 1 Complete. What is with that one outfit? Is that a girl wearing the tiniest bra ever?
I think it is.
I don't understand. What's up with this cover art?
I don't know. I just know that I see that game advertised everywhere and I still don't know how to say it.
Sure.
Evasion comes to PS VR digital, which there's some cool VR games out that I need to get on right now. Experience the next generation of VR combat with Evasion, an intense sci-fi bullet hell shooter. Run, dodge, unleash devastating surge attacks. Play solo or team up to save an embattled colony from swarms of lethal Optera. Goodness.
Oh, bullet hell shooter would be amazing.
Did I say shooter?
Yeah, before you corrected yourself and said shooter, you said bullet hell shoer. Just imagine if you had like these huge guns and you couldn't actually hit someone. You just had to like skim them so they would like scoot away. Be like, shoo, get out of here, you bad guy. I'm going to almost shoot you with my bullets.
I actually thought of shoes, and I just imagine you shooting shoes everywhere.
Yeah, that'd be pretty amazing too.
Yeah.
You just have guns that are all shoe based.
Shooting laces everywhere.
Exactly.
Shooting the grommlets everywhere.
Oh my gosh. All right, moving on. The Exorcist Legion VR episodes 4 and 5. PSVR Digital. The Exorcist Legion VR is a fully interactive, multi-chapter story set in the world created by horror maestro William Peter Blatty. Delve deep into the heart of the supernatural and uncover secrets leading toward a terrifying final confrontation.
Man, it must be Halloween time.
Spooky. Oh, is it? Is it October?
Home sweet home. This is PSVR Digital.
You're having real problems tonight.
I am. I'm starting to question my
English major?
reading skills. Inspired by Thai mythology and beliefs, Home Sweet Home throws players into a dark and twisted labyrinth where a miasma of fear fills the air. Dread bleeds through cracks in the ceiling. Sounds like they got a leak. And seeps down through broken floorboards.
Flowboards? Man, you're killing it.
Goodness.
And by
I'm
killing
embarrassed.
it, I mean you're murdering these words.
I guess they're distracted by
my
dread bleeding
gosh.
through the cracks in the ceiling.
Oh, man, dude. Are you okay? Are you drunk? Were you afraid?
Someone must have spiked my coffee when I wasn't looking.
Yeah. Good Lord.
All right.
Oh, sorry. I had to look up miasma to figure out what the heck that word is. A highly unpleasant or unhealthy smell or vapor for those of you listening. And we're like, what the hell's miasma? Anyways, it's almost like me has asthma. It's like if Jar Jar Binks announced he had asthma. Me still have asthma.
Yeah.
Me asthma.
I like that.
All right. Mark of the Ninja Remastered PS4 Digital. In the Mark of the Ninja Remastered, learn what it is to truly be a ninja. You must be silent, agile, and clever to outwit opponents in a world of generous. Now I can't read. In a world of gorgeous scenery and flowing animation, with cursed tattoos giving you heightened senses. Ooh.
I like the idea of generous scenery instead. Like, it's just giving stuff away.
Just like a tree in the background. Here's a tattoo.
Oh, look, here. Give this to that guy hiding behind me over there, eh? All right.
Oh, we make these better. I'm just saying.
My Memory of Us, PS4 Digital. My Memory of Us is a reminiscence of a friendship between a boy and a girl. Okay. A friendship
Ew.
made during tough times. Times of terror, pain, and exclusion in a world where people were forced to live in two artificially detached worlds.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like somebody just threw a bunch of words in there.
Yeah. All right. Space Hulk Tactics. PS4 Digital Retail. Space Hulk Tactics is a faithful adaptation of the board game Space Hulk, bringing a unique twist to the cult classic formula. Battle as either a squad of Terminator Space Marines or the deadly alien Jenna Stealers.
I think that's Gene
Gene
Stealer.
Stealers, yeah. I mean, it could be either, Rob.
Somebody took my Jenna. I gotta get her back.
Oh, poor Jenna.
I know.
She's always getting stolen.
It's just like Mario, right? And the Princess
Yeah,
Peach.
exactly.
Super Blackjack Battle 2 Turbo. That sounds like a Street Fighter title.
Right?
The Card Warriors. Invited. Oh, this is PS4 Digital. Invited by the owner of the largest casino in Las Vegas and godfather of the local most influential crime family. Each character will face the others in a game of cards. Only the best will challenge the godfather himself in a final match.
Interesting.
You gotta do your best Jim Ross for this next one.
Oh gosh, Jim Ross. Got to channel Jim Ross. All right, give me.
Or Lawler. I'll take Jerry Lawler.
Probably Jim Ross would be easier for me.
Probably.
I don't know if I can get as high pitched as Lawler gets. WWE 2K19 is the latest entry in the flagship WWE video game franchise, showcasing a massive roster of popular WWE superstars, legends and Hall of Famers. Experience the authentic WWE gameplay, creation options, and more. This will be one hell of a slobber knocker.
Yeah, see, now that last line right there you added, that's what should have been there.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, well. Well, that is the See You Soon drop. So, pick of the week this week for me, if I had to pick a game that I had to download, it would totally be, I think, Mark of the Ninja Remastered, just so that I could play with some generous scenery.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it would be Evasion, because I would love to see what a bullet hell shoer is.
Yeah. You sure you don't want to check out the dreaded floorboards, or what was that one? Dread bleeding through the cracks in the ceiling and the floorboards.
I would love to see Jar Jar Binks have asthma, so... Miasma!
Miasma. I would love to know what Thai mythology is. That would be really... Actually, legit want to know what that is. Because it's like the most generic...
I thought you were saying that sarcastically. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's just mythology that's based in Thailand.
No, I want to know what like the mythology is, though. Like Norse mythology, right?
I get it now.
Because it almost looks like Claire Redfield got kidnapped and used for that photo there. Right? You know, it's like the most generic white Asian looking girl I've ever seen. You know? On the cover art. All right.
100%.
So, last but not least, I thought we'd wrap up with our Metacritic quip of the week.
Hello.
So I'm going to read you 3 blurbs from review of games that actually came out in September. I took all the negative reviews this time, and you're going to tell me what game you think it is.
Yes, I love negative reviews. They are awesome.
And now I want to point out that something that all 3 of these have in common is they all scored in the 80s. So they were all decent games, but they had at least one 60 or below review.
Interesting.
And so you ready for this?
Yep.
So number 1 says, but the game's most egregious wrong is its stiff controls, which are reminiscent of those in blank, the worst title in the series.
I mean, is that Spider-Man?
Well, it's a series.
Well, I mean, I guess, people are dumb. Spider-Man could technically be considered a series, even though it's not like the whole thing. But,
no, this is one that has a continuous series, whereas Spider-Man, like, each one of those games is kind of
Sure. Walking Dead.
Well, that was actually a good guess. No, it's not Walking Dead. It is actually Mega Man 11.
Yeah.
And the blank part I took out was Mega Man 7, which are reminiscent of those in Mega Man 7, the worst title in the series.
Oh, Mega Man.
All right.
Can never please them.
So here's another September release. This game shows a tremendous love for all things blank, and the ending packs a punch that he would be proud of. But this studio relies too much on its hero to elevate the world built around him, with the result that the game wears thin sometime before its powerful conclusion.
I mean, that's definitely Spider-Man.
That's Spider-Man, yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What's the blank you left out?
So I said so basically this game shows tremendous love for all things Spider-Man, and the ending packs a punch he would be proud of, but Insomniac relies too much on its hero to elevate the world built around him. All right, last one.
Sure. It's about him, is it not?
Yeah.
Shouldn't he elevate the world around him?
I know.
Anyways, continue.
I agree. Yeah, I thought that was a weird one-off review.
I mean, hey, they're bound to have them.
All right. It's traditional to a fault. It may look beautiful, and the voice acting is a worthwhile addition. But overall, Blank does nothing to push the JRPG genre forward. It's a shame, as despite Square pushing Blank as its big Western RPG, this is a game that's incredibly hard to recommend to a new audience. And so I left the developer in there, or publisher in there for you. So it's a Square Enix game. It's a JRPG. It's clearly a series.
Yeah. What?
Just came out.
Oh my gosh.
And I knew you might wrestle with this one.
I should know this. I think I watched a couple videos on the PlayStation Access did a couple videos on because they love JRPGs.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
And I'm sure people are screaming at you right now that are listening.
Oh, I'm not up on my JRPGs. I don't know enough of them, but I as soon as you say it, I'm like, oh yeah.
You ready?
All right. Yeah. What is it?
Dragon Quest 11.
Oh. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they've done so many videos on that.
I know, and I figured that one had been all over the place because it's got really good reviews, and then there was one cranky critic. So, well, that wraps it up.
Yeah.
It's time to go. It's been fun.
That's it. Forfeit. It has been fun. It has been fun to get back into it, Robert, because we've been gone for far too long.
We have.
Far too long.
We have. We got positive feedback on our Amy Smith episode, though.
That's good.
Somebody told me that she should be the intro to every podcast with her "We Are One, You Are Two" intro.
Oh yeah.
And so I told them I'd see what we could do for them. So
nice.
Well, kids, until next time, thanks for joining us, and game on.
Game on.
No outro music?
This is the outro music. Outro music, WWE style. Come on down and fight in the ring. WWE.
Nice. I felt like yelling, "My God!" He nearly broke him in half.
Ma! He put him through the Spanish announce table. It's always the poor Spanish announcers, you know what I mean?
Amen for those guys.
Right?